Hello, welcome to Gospel Faith Television UK. My name is Pastor Jimba Alex, and today we're going to be talking about the Windrush Generation. Now, the Windrush Generation is basically about how the Black Caribbean workers were coming over to England, which is the UK, in the 50s, and they came over to come and get work, to get jobs, to get employment, so they can help out the English working society system. But the point I'm trying to make also is that within that Windrush generation, obviously the Black Caribbean people, they came over in the 50s and in the 60s from the Caribbean. They came over via ships and boats, and they stayed in England. They stayed in England and they worked and they worked and they worked, and they got the recognition that they deserved. But one thing I want us to understand also is that the Windrush generation that came over from the Caribbean within the 50s, they were slave descendants also. Yeah, so let's not forget that before black people got to the Caribbean in the first place, and before they came over to England to get jobs and to better their lives, they were already taken away from Africa as slaves. So they settled in Jamaica, in Dominica, in St. Lucia, before the idea or the concept of the Windrush came along. So here also I managed to find a picture of the great Prince William. Yeah, and about 2 weeks ago, Prince William was talking about the Windrush. Yeah, Prince William and Kate Middleton, they were talking about the Windrush. And Prince William, he said so many positive things about how black people came over to England in the 50s and how they helped the British society. So Prince William is a man, a gentleman that I listen to, and I've got so much respect for him as an individual. Of course, I know that one day Prince William is going to become the King of England, and he deserves it as well, because Prince William is very inspiring. He's such a very inspiring individual. So not only did I read about Prince William unveiling, he's the one that unveiled the Windrush statue. He unveiled it, the Windrush statue, with Kate Middleton. And I got respect for both of them because I read about it in the newspapers, the Metro newspaper. It was in the Evening Standard, and Prince William spoke the truth. So I say it again, Prince William is a very inspiring and motivating young individual. So back to what I'm saying, those black people that came over from the Caribbean in the 50s and in the 60s during the Windrush generation, they were slave descendants. And we can't shy away from that fact. So they came over here and they made Britain even richer. Yeah, from their work contributions, they made Britain even richer. And Prince William, he spoke about this in his well-documented speech. So not only did the people from the Windrush, not only did they face hard times, and not only did they get jobs, they faced racism also. They really, really faced racism. And if you watch a documentary of the Windrush generation, those people the black people that came over in the 50s and the 60s, they spoke about how they faced racism, because some of them have never even seen a white person or a European in their lives. And me, obviously being Pastor Jimba Alex, I had to bring my concept into it as well, because I'm speaking on behalf of Gospel Faith Television UK. I'm the president and the founder of Gospel Faith Television UK. And I want to say the Windrush was an era within the black race's history, but the Windrush is not all the history there is to black people. So I'm trying to say that black people's history is way bigger and longer and deeper than the Windrush. So I'm here to say that black people as a unit should unite all over the world. I mean, the Windrush generation came over here, I will say like probably about 55 to 60 years ago. They came over to England about 55 to 60 years ago. But our history, black people's history all over the world is bigger than the Windrush. I mean, look at the statue, the people that came in from the Caribbean. Black people don't only live in the Caribbean. Black people have lived all over the world. Black people lived in Chile. Black people lived in Brazil. Black people lived in Mexico. We were the first people to build the pyramids all over the world, even in the Antarctica. Black people built pyramids in Egypt, in South America. We were there. So I'm saying that black people should look beyond the Windrush generation, because we are far deeper than that. And also, I'm making this video, which is called the Windrush Generation, because I want the black youth all over the world to know that our history is way deeper than the Windrush generation. Black history has got deeper roots. And not only that, black people, we lived in kingdoms. We had kingdoms all over the world before we were taken to the Caribbean. So you cannot just summarize. You cannot just summarize or analyze or just put us in a little box as Windrush. We are much more bigger than the Windrush generation. So, and I'm saying also that black people were not created to serve anybody. Because within the Windrush generation, of course, the black people came over to the UK and they were serving the society. They were getting new jobs. They were working in the railways. They were being bus conductors. They were using the Caribbean accent. Where you at, boy? I'm a Sydenham, you know. Yeah, a simple thing. You see me, I say, you want to go there? You have to pay me, I'm 2 pounds, you know. Black people's history is way bigger than the Caribbean. And what's it called again? And Patois. We have the richest kingdoms in the world, the Benin Kingdom, you know, the Togo Kingdom, the Yoruba Kingdom, you name it. It stretches all the way to Brazil. So I'm saying also that black people need to be their own spokesman. So as much as Prince William, he said so many good things about the Windrush, and he said so many positive things of how black people help the British society. I'm saying also that black people, we need to be our own spokesperson. We need to speak for ourselves. We need to begin to read books and know about our own history. Our history is not only about the Windrush. And black people need to speak about their own experiences and say how they felt. They got to speak about how they felt. Because there's no point reading books about the Windrush and you're reading from a European author and he's telling us about our own history. No. We got to get the knowledge and the wisdom from the people that experienced it themselves, that came from the Caribbean. Because they're the ones that lived it. And we are like their offsprings. I also want to, another point I want to make here is that Windrush generation, it took place in the 50s, in the UK and in the 60s. But I want to say to you here that Africans have already been living in England before the Windrush. And I've got a picture of a man called Dr. Emeka Ojukwu. Now, Dr. Emeka Ojukwu himself is the leader and the founder of the Biafra in Nigeria. So there was a civil war in Nigeria from 1967 to 1971, and Dr. Colonel, Lieutenant, Chief Commander Emeka Ojukwu went to Cambridge and Oxford University in the 50s. That was even before the Windrush. So the man was already studying in Cambridge University and Oxford University way before the Windrush. So Africans have been living in England before the Windrush Generation. Our history runs way deeper than that. It does. So also I want to say that Prince William and Kate Middleton, they are eloquent speakers. They are educated speakers. But also, we should never forget that there's more to the Windrush story. It's good for a member of the royal family to talk about the Windrush generation. It's good for a member of the royal family to talk about black people's history, but black people's history would sound better, and it would even be more advanced and more educative if it's coming from black people themselves. So I hope I've made myself clear, and I just want to say that Prince William done a great job, because he's the one that unveiled. Prince William is the one that unveiled the statue. Yeah, go on. He's the one that unveiled the Windrush statue, and he done a great job. But I'm here to say that no one can tell black people about their history more than black people themselves. My name is Pastor Jimba Alex, and I just want to sign out. Thanks for watching Gospel Faith Television UK. Yeah.